is already baked into the getting rich process for most of us in our own minds. So when talking about building that identity, that we first change how we think about it, how we think about ourselves.
It's a practice. To slow down will take a lot of practice. You consciously will have to practice about it.
Porn infiltrated society where we all want to get to the orgasm quickly.
Yep. Before success, chop wood, carry water. After success, chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water.
I think a lot of successful people, if you look at them, right, they talk slowly, right? They walk slowly. They have an aura about them.
We want to talk about going slow. And the reason we want to talk about going slow, whether it's about building health or whether it's about building wealth, is purely because people try to do things fast, rush things up, do things hastily, hoping that they'll get the desired outcome, but they never do. Most of the time, they don't do. Which is why I just thought I would like people to understand the importance of going slow. There's a Zen philosophy that before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Just keep doing the work. Just keep doing the work. Just keep doing the work. If you optimize for the outcome, you might land up, like I'll give you an example in the world of finance, okay, which we talk so much about. People want to grow their incomes really, or people want to grow their portfolios really fast, or become millionaires really fast. That's why they leverage. And they over leverage. And leverage ETFs and borrowing from IBKR or wherever, all right? And then when the market tanks, you have a margin call and you're wiped out. And I've seen so many people, he's also done a lot of mistakes. Maybe he'll share with you one day or someday. But I've seen so many people wiped off. You still have asset allocation which protects you, but I've seen people getting wiped off purely because they want to grow fast. Same thing happens in health. People want to grow fast. That's why the steroids will come in, or the growth hormones will come in, or other quick fixes or fast methods will come in, and which is not properly researched, not properly science backed, not properly sourced. And sometimes it will affect your body and you're screwed. So I just wanted people to understand. I just wanted to express the importance of going slow instead of optimizing for outcomes today. It's okay if the outcome comes later.
Yeah. The going slow is something that at some point in my life, someone mentioned it to me in a certain context, and I'll talk about it. But I think there is so much value in slowing everything down, right? I remember when back in the day when I was learning how to play golf, and I wanted to hit the ball really far, right? I felt like the dopamine would come when the ball goes really far. You want to hit that 300-yard shot. And I used to whack the ball, just like, I want to smack the living daylights out of that ball. And I remember the coach telling me, Kartik, if you want to hit the ball really far, slow everything down. Slow down your breath, slow down your movement, slow down your backswing, slow down your forward swing, and slow down every movement. And he's like, when you're breathing also, I want you to feel every microsecond of that breath while because normally you're like, he's like, no, your breath should not change while you're in the swing if you want the ball to go really far. And it hit me like a basketball, not like a golf ball. It hit me and it stays with me till today. And I keep thinking about it and I suck at it even today. But it's something that I'm glad that's why I was so glad that you brought this topic up, because when we slow things down, from that example, when you slow things down, you can actually go really far. So if you want to go far, slow it down, right? And
Arnold also used to say in his not his autobiography, his documentary called Pumping Iron. I don't know if you've seen it. He would say that when you're working out, okay, focus all your mental energy on your muscle, you're exercising. All your energy. There was no distraction. There was no podcast. There was no television going around. He was just focused on that muscle, so he could feel it. He could think about it. He could direct all of that. When you're slowing down, you are pouring energy into this process that you're working on, which is why Arnold also would talk about it, which is why there are other people also, I'm forgetting the names of. Like, I'll give you an example. When you eat food and when you're eating slowly, when you're not distracted by social media or videos and all, you most likely will land up munching more. Let's say at least 20 bites when you put one morsel of food, all right? But when you're looking at social media or a movie or something, chances are very high you'll be munching it fast because you're excited, you're edge of the seat, some drama is going on, some horror is going on. Many a times things we'll end up doing things fast because we are distracted also. But just food, if you were to just sit down, eat slowly, chances are you'll end up you'll end up digesting the food better. Chances are you'll end up biting the food better. Chances are you'll end up deriving most nutrition out of the food much better because you're eating slow.
I think a lot of successful people, if you look at them, right, they talk slowly, right? They walk slowly. They have an aura about them. And if you really, the other things that we can do slowly, breathe slowly. Right? And with breathe slowly, I was watching a podcast the other day, and this guy said, he was asking about longevity, and since, and I thought about you because, he said, she asked him, the host asked this guy, what's your thought about longevity? He's like, what longevity? You want to, we've all come onto this planet with a certain number of breaths. We've all come with a certain number of breaths. You want to live longer? Breathe slower. And I was like, that is perhaps the finest definition of longevity that I've ever heard. That if you want to live longer, just take those breaths. You're going to breathe, let's say, 100 breaths. You want to breathe them in 100 years or you want to breathe them in 10 years? Up to you. So just breathe them slowly. And I was like, wow.
That's amazing. And when people are stressed, they're breathing faster. They're having
Fight
more
or
breath
flight
per
mode.
minute. Yeah, fight or flight mode. And most people have this acute stress because either work stressing them, or they do not know how to breathe slowly, or meditation is not happening. The practices are not there. So they're stressed at work, stressed at home, stressed about finances, and this acute stress lands up increasing the number of breaths they're taking. And if what that person said, everyone has a limited number of breaths. Let's say for a second, consider that maybe that's the truth.
Maybe.
Which is why stress converts into so many diseases. Almost all diseases come out of stress.
Wow. Amazing. Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
and when I think it's like causation and correlation or whatever. So if you breathe slowly, you'll be less stressed. If you're less stressed, you'll breathe slowly. So if you want to be, if you feel like I'm a stressed guy, and I do not focus on my breath as much as I would like to, as much as I now know, then I'm really bad, because now that I know that I should do this and still not doing it, that's dumb, right? But if we can just slow down every breath, we'll automatically be less stressed. We'll automatically extend our health.
So are you
extend our
doing anything
lifestyle.
about it?
I'm very conscious. So when I drive, before meetings, before I have to do, like even before this podcast, I didn't listen to any. I go silent in the car while driving, and I just try and take 10 breaths, like as deep and slow as possible. That's my little endeavor. But through the day, I realized that shit, half the day is gone, the whole day is gone. I've not taken one conscious breath the whole day, not one slow, deep breath the whole day. And I'm like, oh my God, that's insane. Can you imagine living a whole day without focusing on one breath? And I live so many days like this. So that's great. So that's why initially, I think when we started this decision, or we decided to make this podcast, one of the biggest things for me was that I will get to dial so deep into my own self and use this as an experiment. I don't know who's going to watch this eventually. If people do, great. But even if they don't, I think if we do a bunch of these episodes, I will learn and improve my life, which was something that I really wanted to do. And the other thing is to slow down, right? So slow down your breath, slow down the way you walk, your talk, slow down while having sex, slow down while making love, slow down while investing, slow down in the gym, slow down. We're all in this, a porn infiltrated society where we all want to get to the orgasm quickly, right? We want to get there. So we're going, and everything needs to be slowed down, right?
There are three things I do, which I think on a daily basis, which helps me to slow down. And maybe everyone should have a habit of them. One, I meditate every single day. I get up at 3:30. So I meditate at 3:45 every day for 10 minutes. Sometimes I do Tony Robbins' 15 minutes meditation. I don't know if you've ever done his
I do Vishen Lakhiani's 13-minute.
Yeah. So 10 to 15 minutes of meditation a day, it's amazing. It's amazing how it works. It works very subtly, but it 100% works. The second thing I do is my walks every day. I'll go down for a walk for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not listening to any podcast, nothing. I will just take a video and put it on Insta later, which is just for everyone to have a habit. Yeah, I do it almost every day, if not every day. But that walk is where my mind just wandering, and all the kind of thoughts are coming in my mind. But it's good to just not be stimulated with podcasts or music or something, and I'm just walking, thinking, and it's amazing. The third thing that I do is when I would eat, I would just eat. It's a practice to slow down. Will take a lot of practice. You consciously will have to practice about it.
So when you're at home, you don't eat in front of the TV.
When I'm at home, I will try not to eat in front of TV as much as possible.
So it's been one of my big goals, by the way,
Yeah.
to not eat in front of the TV.
I actually don't watch TV, Kartik.
Yeah. I mean, whatever, Netflix or whatever.
हाँ मतलब max maybe a YouTube would be going on, but as much as possible, I will try not to not for it to be paused. I'm not saying I do it all the time, but I'll try it to be paused. But I'll take 10 minutes, just eat. But I do that better when I'm at work. I do that better in the morning after the gym. I do that better when I'm in OFC. I'm not looking at anything.
Not even on your phone watching. If you're sitting alone in OFC, you're not even watching something on your
90%
phone.
of the time I'm not.
Wow, okay. That's one of my big life failures, which I'm in no hurry to correct, to be honest, because it's one of the very few times that I'm watching something. I mean, now IPL is going on. It just takes away a lot of my time, which is fine. I mean, that's something I enjoy doing. But most times I don't watch much TV either. I don't watch Netflix. But when I'm eating, I like some podcast to be going on. So I feel like, even that's
You're
not
optimizing.
good. I'm optimizing that time also. I feel like I need to optimize every moment. No,
But this is also optimizing.
But it's not about optimizing. It's habit. I've just got into this. It's taken control over me. It's like how I couldn't start my day without coffee, or I can't do without nicotine. It's control. It has control over me. I've been able to overcome a lot of things, but slowing down is not one of them. And watching something while I eat is not one of them. It's something I've not gained control over yet. And for that also, I feel like I need to slow down, right? And you were talking about the health. You want to finish on the health, other health things you do that can help people slow down or that can help me slow down.
I want to talk about fitness. It's a losing battle to go after muscular gains or losing fat very fast, or going after muscular gain or losing fat tomorrow. You have to be comfortable with the process being slow. It's like a baby will get produced in 9 months. So you are comfortable with the process that it will take 9 months. It's not going to get delivered tomorrow just because you want the baby in your hands. So the moment you get comfortable with the slowness of building a good physique, you will end up committing to the process. And if you land up committing to the process, the first thing that lands up building is an identity. You start changing your identity. You become someone for whom health matters. And when you become someone for whom health matters, you start trusting yourself more. You start trusting yourself more to get the job done because you're doing it again and again. You land up building your self-esteem. So before you land up building muscle, or before you land up losing weight, and before you land up having a leaner physique, you will land up building an identity, self-confidence, self-esteem, which makes you a different person by the time you hit that goal. And this whole slow process, you getting comfortable with slow process, when you become a different person, you land up having a higher threshold of pain. And when you have a higher threshold of pain, you can get a lot of work done because you'll be less stressed. And when you'll be less stressed, you'll be taking less number of breaths. And when you'll be taking less number of breaths, all right, you'll land up living longer. It all begins with becoming comfortable with the process taking time. And almost every process takes time. Nothing happens overnight.
That's, while you were just saying that, I think it leads exactly into how I think about money and finance as well, right? That everyone wants to get rich quick. Let's just be honest that everyone wants, nobody says, no, I don't want to get rich quick. So that quick is already baked into the getting rich process for most of us in our own mind. So when you're talking about building that identity, that we first change how we think about it, how we think about ourselves, commit to the process, and then allow the outcome to unfold. Right? The same thing happens in our money as well. We all start, I remember I started investing 1,000 dirhams a month when I first started 6-7 years ago. 1,000 dirhams a month, right? And I used to do the math. I'm like, okay, in a year I'll invest, I might miss 1 month here and there. In a year I'll invest 10,000 dirhams. And I had, whatever I had read aside, I said 10% per annum is a good growth rate that I should be happy with. And I'm like, okay, so in 1 year I've invested 10,000. So next year my return on that 10,000 will only be 1,000 dirham.
Feels nothing.
So I'm like, this is too slow, right? It is too slow. It is too slow. So, but because I kept reinforcing it in my mind that it's okay, the money journey, I need to get rich for sure and not get rich quick. So that, I think that thought, and that's why we, even on social media, on YouTube, wherever, you'll always see that people say that after $100,000 of investing is where your wealth really explodes or starts, really going up, because everything in life is like this. If we look at how, and nature is filled with examples of why and how we need to go slow, right? When we plant a seed, the bamboo tree story, you plant the seed, the farmer's at it doing all his stuff for 4 5 years, and nothing happens. Not even a shoot pops out of the ground, right? And then in 3 weeks or 6 weeks, you have a 90-foot tall bamboo tree. So it's a slow process. Everything, nature tells you that everything happens slowly. You mentioned the pregnancy part, right? It's a slow process. But while that process is going on, we need to keep putting water in. We need to keep putting fertilizer and manure in. We need to keep irrigating the ground. We need to keep doing what we need to do. As you said, we need to keep showing up, right? And then when the result comes, then it's all then it's done, right? Then you've done what you set out to do. So going slow is actually going fast.
Absolutely.
If
And
you want,
far.
If you want to go fast and far. Eventually,
Be okay to go slow.
You be okay to go slow. And going back to the money part, right? We always talk about multiplying our money. We want to multiply our money. I think we need to be looking at adding money. And we need to reframe the concept or the mental model in our brains that we need to go slow. Allow the results can be rapid. The results can and eventually will happen rapidly, like that bamboo tree. But our inputs, we need to go slow and consistent. And when I say adding money, that we need to add money. So every time you add 1,000 dirhams every month, right? Then you increase by 10%. And then you will grow in life. You can make it $1,000 a month. You can make it $5,000 a month. But you keep adding money. The money will multiply itself. So if we think about multiplying money, that's where all these things about, let me take leverage. Let me go into IBKR and, borrow against my shares and do this and try and take all these 1:100 Forex bets and do all this crypto play, because we are I want to multiply my money.
Today,
I want to multiply it.
And it also comes from envy, because other people other people got lucky, or other people made a bet and made a lot of money. So you want to catch up.
So I need to be adding my inputs. Allow the inputs to multiply themselves. I think that is the greatest way, because even in that bamboo tree story, those roots are growing. Yeah. The network of roots getting built under the ground is phenomenal. So what's happening under the surface, which is what you spoke about, your identity, those are nothing but the roots getting built, right? The muscles or the tree will show up eventually.
It's like a story. You'll remember the story we used to talk before. There were two seeds rolling down a mountain, and they landed on a floor, and one of the seeds really sprouted into a big tree, and the other seed was really small. Took a long time to really start becoming a tree. And one day there was a huge wind, really strong wind, and it comes, I don't know if you remember the story, but it comes and it blows into both the trees, and the tree that really grew fast was torn apart purely because it never had strong roots, whereas the tree which was not tall enough, had very strong roots, survived the wind, and the only reason was purely because it was spending that time to build the roots. So going slow, adding money, or going slow in building your physique, it just builds a different you. Even adding money, when you're talking about it, not bothering about multiplying today, but adding, it takes a different you. Not being envious about other people takes a different you.
Absolutely.
Being comfortable with the process takes a different you.
So I think to summarize all of this, or to just pack it into one little capsule, which is again, don't look for capsules, look for, but to really pack this up, I think the idea is be okay with the process being slow.
Chop wood, carry water before success. Chop wood, carry water after success. Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water. Chop wood, carry water.
Super.
Cool. This was amazing.
Yeah, I'm really confident, because I really want to slow my own life down. I feel like I'm too rushed. I'm too always on. I want to be, I want to become a little more in control.
I think I got back in control when I started sleeping early, Kartik. I think my sleep routine has saved my life, frankly. Literally has saved my life. It's cut out 90% of my social interactions, because after 8 years my social interactions begin, but it saved me. My mind, my body, everything's responding so much better just because
Is it the sleep routine in the sense that because you sleep at a certain hour, or because you sleep at that hour every day?
No, because I sleep at a certain hour every single day.
Even if that's 8 or 10, it doesn't matter.
8 or 10 doesn't matter. Okay. But the same sleep routine every single day. 10 is okay. But it has to be the same sleep routine half an hour gap here or there. But every day your body's aware you're going to sleep at this time. Today morning, there was no alarm. I woke up at 3:30. I crashed at 8:30. Alarm was supposed to go on at 3:30. 3:17, I still remember I was up. Sound sleep. My recovery score was 96% on Whoop. But that has saved me, I would say, to a great. That has allowed me to become calmer, slower.
In today's day and age where there's so much going on, there's a social expectation. I mean, from let's say wife, family, kids. There's so much happening. So at some point, I think they all will bend to your will.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
At some point in time, everyone will come down to this routine. I can guarantee you.
No, I don't know about that, but everyone will. Everyone, like I know, everyone will look up to you for your routine behind your back,
Yes.
whether they accept it on the face of it or not.
Yes.
Great. Good. I think
Cool.
that's a wrap.
This was amazing. That's a wrap. See you soon, guys.